This is a mini lesson analysis on Marth versus Falcon. Uh, Kind of just like a lot of there was no need to dash in there. Like a dash back there would have just been fine. And if you see them jump, you could CC or shield. Probably CC since Nair is the only thing that could reach you if you dash back there. So kind of like a lot of like unnecessary movement, unnecessary down tilt. It's like being a little bit more familiar with Falcon's ranges will go a long way. I also would recommend that you try to tech chase Falcon because you don't need to be as frame tight as you would against Spaceys because Falcon doesn't have a good up attack shine. So at the very least, if you're gonna go for a read, check a tech in place first. And yeah, it's like in scraps like these, like I don't know what's this jab really accomplishing. Like it's like you crouch, you shield, you dash. Not really. You really shouldn't be jabbing in place there when it comes to fighting tight spots against Falcon. Okay, good. Oh, that's supposed to be an up tilt, not a grab. And he just kills himself. And that's do be like that. Try to shield like not like super preemptively. Try to shield in reaction to their jump. In particular, because like their stomp and knee like don't come out very quickly. So like you have enough time to confirm them being in the air and then jump. So as long as like the first hit in the air doesn't hit you, you could pretty much almost always react to Falcon's jump with shield. And also Marth gets to choose when he wants to take a risk and going committing to a grab and scraps like these. So keep in mind that you know, going for them may be worth it, especially if you know their patterns, but that shouldn't necessarily be your default. Like when you go for risks, these run up grabs, these up tilts, these forward smash, like you should really want to go for them if you're like very certain. But like at the end of the day, nothing is actually forcing you to do that. Just letting you know. That's like the privilege that Marth has. He can decide when he wants to take a risk. It doesn't mean that you have to take a risk though. Like that grab. It's a lot better to make a more calculated play with dashing towards center for that instance. A little bit too early the up tilt. Know the timing for that better. Gotta do an up air later than that. And also keep in mind that when you shield stuff like aerials, like it's less more about reversal time. It's more like, hey, this is my ticket out of like a potential disadvantage. Just because you shield Falcon's aerials, especially when it crosses them like that, doesn't mean that that doesn't mean it's your opening. It's just like your reward is that Falcon doesn't get an opening. If that makes sense. And yeah, this is kind of what I mean. That you kind of want to always dash back here, and then confirm a few things. When you dash back here, it's like, okay, at this range, only Nair could possibly hit you because Stomp and Knee have less range than Nair. So when you're in this range, you should pretty much know that Nair is the only thing that can hit you. So you could CC this. If you CC the second hit, because you're at that percent where if you true crouch cancel the second hit, you will just get a grab. And at the percent where it doesn't hit, at the higher percents where you can't CC grab, and you could shield and play a mix up from there. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. That you could react to these jumps pretty reliably, depending on the range. Like if you're within range of stomp and knee closer in, then you need to play a shield mix up. But yeah, kind of being a little bit more informed with Falcon's threat ranges, doing a little bit better job of your tech chasing overall. I felt like they were pretty inefficient and he got a lot of reversal opportunities. And also your risk taking, you don't need to commit off of scraps as much as you're currently doing.